So, hello, fellow Earthlings. This is Earthling 6455463728. And Joe Rogan has crossed my line. There's only ever my line, your line, whoever's line, with respect to discouraging the young and healthy people from getting vaccinated for COVID. And I'm going to give my upset opinions on that in a moment. Of course, I am Earthling, yada, yada, yada. I have a couple of degrees. I got a scholarship a long time ago. I've traveled a bit. I lost almost 100 pounds and kept it off. Quit smoking, etc. And I am a YouTuber. I think after more than a year, you can call yourself a YouTuber, right? So please hit that like button with respect to this video if you'd like to see more like that, or hear more like this. If you don't like it, hit dislike, I guess. Share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Thanks. So I had the unfortunate opportunity to see an article where Joe Rogan was discouraging people who are young and healthy from getting vaccinated. And I for the longest while, I have watched Joe Rogan, and I know that he is very open. He's an open guy who wants to talk to anybody. There's some things, though, that I might draw a line at personally. I don't think that you should try, or you could pay attention to, but I think that there's some conversations, some people maybe, and I really don't know how it's supposed to come down where you don't listen to some people. I want to say that everybody has a right to be heard. The problem is that there is something called transfer. If two cars collide, oddly enough, if it's a blue car and a red car, that there's going to be red paint on the blue car and there's going to be blue paint on the red car. So stuff transfers, and I feel that even though Joe Rogan talks to everybody, right? He has liberal people on, he has right-wing people on. Somehow, I don't know. But I just want to say that this is the maddest, craziest, most irresponsible thing that I could ever pin on Joe Rogan. This is the clearest, most insane thing that really puts him in almost a new class, a new category, straight off the bat. This idea that if you are young and healthy, that the vaccine is safe, pretty much. That's what he says. So if you're at risk, go and get the vaccine, right? If you have secondary conditions or whatever they call it, then you go and get the vaccine. So what we're going to do is all the old people, all the people who are overweight, I guess, obese, they should go and get vaccinated. But if you're young and if you're healthy, then no, don't worry about it. His two daughters got it, and both of them were fine. So basically, Joe Rogan wants us to be vectors. And the guy that he had on, I can't remember the guy's name. Is it Dan Smith? I don't know. But the guy is like, yeah, I'm not going to experiment on my daughters. It's an experiment either way, sir. Either way you choose to go, it's an experiment. You have no guarantees from the virus that you are really going to be, that your daughter is going to be fine if she gets it. And before I forget, over and over and over and over, we have been told that vaccinations are not just for you. Vaccinations are also for the people who cannot get vaccinated. It is not just about you. It is about the other people, babies. Well, I guess this version, thus far, the types of variants that are out there, none of them is likely to kill a baby. Babies are getting killed. Kids are getting killed. but the percentage is very, very low. And Joe wants us to keep, and his guest wants us to keep rolling the dice, rolling the dice until something worse happens, apparently, is the case. Because I don't understand, I don't get it. You're young and you're healthy, so the vaccine, even if you believe that the vaccine is going to cause a problem, you're young and you're healthy, so it shouldn't cause a problem. Why would you, being young and healthy, and having a concern that the vaccine might be a problem for people or just people who are young and healthy? You are discouraging them and making sure that they are available to continue to be carriers. And you don't know who they are going to infect, and you don't know who that other person is going to infect, and who you're going to be responsible for way into the future. And, I just wanted to address this great thing that Joe said. It's not great. It's ridiculous. He's like, if the vaccine is not a risk to you, why are you getting vaccinated? Well, Joe, let's see. How long has polio been around? Because his point is, the vaccine is not, the virus, it's not as bad as a cold. 22,000 people were killed by the cold last year. So somehow, 500,000 people, I don't know, I'm sure Joe has like some competing number. 500,000 people were killed by, well, let's say 400,000 people were killed in the US by the coronavirus virus. And Joe is like, okay, it's like a cold. Does 22,000 compare to 400,000, Joe? What? Now, the next point is that if it's not a danger to you, don't get vaccinated. Okay, so it's not a danger to your kids. They're in their teenage years. It's certainly not going to be eradicated because you don't want young, healthy vectors to not be susceptible, to not be susceptible to it. You want them to be vectors. So by the time this kid is 70, and it's most certainly going to be around because of your advice to young people, then they can worry about getting it once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times, maybe whatever. Is that the thinking that you're having, Joe? That 60 years from now, they're going to rue listening to your advice that you gave them and now worrying about how sick they will become from that version of the virus, and basically just lowering the life expectancy for people all over the planet? This is honestly some of the most ridiculous advice I have ever heard somebody give to other people. It falls along the lines of insurance. It falls along the lines of saving for retirement. It also, I want to address also that when Joe is ready, he's going to say, don't listen to me. I'm just a guy on YouTube. Except when he's convinced about a particular point, right? Like this one. So this is like insurance. If you're young and you're healthy, you don't need insurance, right? So you shouldn't pay into the system to make sure that it's still around for when you need it, for when you are older. Or how about that the system will still be able to help your parents? Maybe the system will become insolvent. That's the whole reason that there was a penalty for not having insurance under Obamacare, to make sure that everybody pulled together so that everybody could benefit. Whether you are, the risk was low to you or not, you're still putting into the system so that everyone could benefit. Or just like preparing for retirement, you could get a vaccine so that you're not surprised by a bout of COVID, 2050, COVID 50, because you never got vaccinated when you were younger and healthier. And again, as I was just saying, Joe often, when he's called out on something or he feels embarrassed about something, he's going to say, don't listen to me. I'm just a guy on YouTube who has on all of these experts and intelligent people. So therefore, I think I heard Trisha Paytas saying that everybody's telling her how Joe Rogan is so intelligent. Not because of cracks like this. Not because of cracks like this. He is not intelligent if he's telling young, healthy people to continue to be carriers, or at least potential carriers, for a disease that we don't know, what it's going to end up being a year from now or 2 years from now, after they've caught it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Okay, great. You're young and healthy right this second. Are you going to have a disease, 5 years from now? Maybe you might have, I don't know, an actual cold. Maybe your immune system might be weakened because of X or Y or Z, but you didn't get a coronavirus vaccination when you were young and healthy, and you didn't need it because you listened to some crap from a guy who used to be on YouTube but is now on Spotify, hopefully with not as much reach as he had before, spouting these inanities. It's times like these when I am glad that AOC was calling out Bernie Sanders for having an endorsement from Joe Rogan. It's times like these that I'm like, try to disassociate yourself from someone who is going to go on and say complete and utter BS, and have guests who agree with his complete and utter BS positions, where not only are you not concerned about the people, or maybe you're supposed to be smart, you're not concerned about the people who can't be vaccinated because they are on a cancer, they're taking chemotherapy, or because they're getting, I don't know, what do they call it, a bone marrow transplant, or because they're at some point in HIV where, their immune system is weakened, or maybe they just had measles. Did you not know that somebody who has had measles like wipes your immune system record clean? So you are like susceptible to a lot more stuff. I feel like a lot of stuff, a lot of information that is passed on to Joe Rogan by having all of these very intelligent guests come on to his show just goes right in his ears, one ear, and falls out the next. And lots of crap and conspiracy theories are what stick inside of there. Another point that I wanted to make before I wrap up is that apparently more than 2/3 of American adults are either obese or overweight, and they are not healthy. So Joe Rogan who is he talking to? He's talking to a lot of people out there. A lot of them think that they're fine. A lot of them are not aware of statistics. They look at themselves in the mirror and they think, I'm fine. I can't. There were a number of different news stories that I've seen where people were like, this was a healthy adult. He didn't have any pre-existing conditions or anything like that, and he's dead. And then I look at the person's face and it's like, no, he was clearly like borderline obese. But while I'm saying that, let me just make one point with respect to that though. I don't kind of believe in that anymore, because, for one thing, they say, well, look at all the people who are coming in to the ICU, who are overweight or obese. That's a confounding factor with respect to COVID. And I'm like, no, it isn't. They are represented by the percentage in the population. It's not twice as many people as, it's not like a full ward full of people who are obese or overweight. It's representative of their representation in the wider community. So yeah, I don't know that that's really a big deal, but I think that Joe Rogan's comments are enormously irresponsible. And of course, he's not going to see it there. He's going to see it as a matter of freedom and choice and all of these great things that we are domesticated. We are domesticated. Modern human beings are domesticated. All of this freedom that we want to have and we want to profess that we are domesticated. We have to listen to our spouses. We have to listen to our kids. We have to listen to our parents. No matter what age you are, they play a huge role in your life. They are the police. They are you name it. They control us before you even reach to the point of a president or a congressman or anything like that. And people are still just talking nonstop about this freedom that we're going to lose, this freedom that you don't have any freedom. You do not have any freedom. You are not some hunter-gatherer out there who can do just whatever the hell that you feel. Anyway, that's it for me. Feel free, but I encourage you to like or dislike and all the other YouTube stuff. Comment, share, subscribe, etc. And please keep in mind, what would you like as feedback if this were your YouTube content? Have a good one. Peace.